So there's a lot of products that vendors have sent me in the past that I have never opened or used in any way. A lot of those products they just send to me without me asking, and I never really feel bad about those because, you know, whatever. But there have been several times that I've tripped over that wire. I should really move that thing. There have been several times in my career as a YouTuber where I have agreed to take a look at a product or feature it in some way in some content piece, and I have not. Things have slipped away from me, I've gotten backed up, but those are all bad excuses. I'm not making excuses for myself or anything. So today I'm gonna try to make up for it just a small amount by actually putting together a system using parts that were never opened.
Before we continue, this video is brought to you by Corsair IQ, the software that brings your entire setup together, creating a fully immersive ecosystem. Take control by customizing lighting effects and creating personalized profiles for any application. Synchronize your battle station in a brilliant display of color using preset patterns or creating your own. Monitor system performance, tune RGB settings, and control fan speeds from a single interface. To learn more about Corsair IQ, click on the link in the description below.
And I haven't even really scoured the inventory yet to see what's there. So I have no idea what kind of build this is gonna be. It could be high end, it could be low end, it could be somewhere in between, but I think it's gonna be interesting. These are all long lost, forgotten parts. I also don't know how old this build's gonna be. It's gonna be a mishmash of parts, obviously. So it could be, you know, it could span a couple generations ago. It might be current, but why don't we just start? We're just gonna get into it. Starting with the motherboard. Oh, wait, hold on. I should also mention, I think I have pretty much every single part. I have at least one of every part that's required to build a PC that is still fresh in its box. I think with the exception of a CPU. I've pretty much used every CPU that's ever been sent to me. I think that's not too hard to believe, but everything else should be more or less brand new. So why don't we start with the motherboard? We'll start with the motherboard. So I've got Intel on this side, some Intel boards on this end. I've got AMD over here. And honestly, like I feel like in the last couple of years, I've received way more AMD boards than I have Intel boards. I mean, I definitely have some Intel boards stacked up, but definitely more on the Team Red side. So I'm gonna start here first. I know I've used these boards. I don't think I used this one for a test bed. For test benchmarking and stuff. What is this? Why is it green? Oh, the ASRock X570. This is a Razer edition, no wonder. You know what? I used this for a pre-roll. I think it was for like an ad integration, but I think I might have told him I was gonna use it for a build afterwards and I never did. So this is a contender. We've got, I think I pretty much used those boards either for testing, for builds. This is obviously in the wall-mounted PC, X570 Tai Chi, I've used that. I've used all the B550 boards. I think I have more in a different part of the storage area, but I pretty much used those. I don't think I've used, yeah, I've used all of the Zenith Extremes as well. Man, I feel like there were more boards that I haven't used. Oh, some B450 boards. I don't think I ever used this ROG Crosshair 8 Hero. So I think this is, what, is this X570? No, this is X470. So we could use that as well. We've got that. We've got the X570 board if we want something a bit more current. And then these are all like really old boards, but I've pretty much used all those. So, okay, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? This is a one-way street of communication. I don't know why I'm asking you guys. Well, let's see here. I think I'm gonna go with, let's do this one. This one's, it's not every day that you get to use a board that has, a motherboard that has Razer branding on it. And this is a really, I mean, they're both super nice boards. I don't even know which one's more expensive. I would assume this one is, mainly because it's X5, it's slightly newer, and it has the Razer tax. You already know it's got a Razer tax on it. So let's go with the X570 Tai Chi Razer edition, whatever the heck it's called. Put this guy back. And now we need a CPU. Like I said, not gonna find a CPU over here that I haven't already touched and used in some way. We got Intel over there, AMD over here. So we need, let's see, 5000 series I put way to the left. These are some of my 5000 series chips. Not all of them, most of them I think, that are not in use or in other builds. We've got a 5950X right here, which I guess would be fitting for, I guess the tier of board we're using. 5600X, that's empty. This is an APU. This is a 5600G. I don't know, that wouldn't make much sense. I don't know, 5600X or 5950X, or 5600X or 5950X. I think, let's go with the big boy. Go big or go home, right? I'm gonna start putting these over here. All right, what's next? Let's do memory. I'm picking these out pretty much in the same order that I usually pick out parts for builds. I'll do CPU and motherboard first, then I'll go with memories. So all the ones that are unboxed have already been touched. These are SSDs, we'll get to that. We've got some unopened boxes here. Oh, okay, so this is a Dominator Platinum. Ooh, I never used this 64 gig kit of Domplats RGB. What speed is this? Does it say the speed? 3600, this could work 64 giggers. That's a lot of RAM and I've never used that. I don't know why I have it. I don't know, I probably requested it and then just never used it. Sorry, Corsair. What is this? Crucial, I've used that. Definitely used that. Use that. I've used all of these Thermaltake sticks in a, well, this is Prometheus. This is from Prometheus, and the RGB ones, there's some RGB ones in here that I used for, I think, a workstation build, maybe a month or two ago. Trident Z Royale. Oh, this looks pretty fresh. These are pretty fresh, although, you know what? They're not very fresh. They have fingerprints all over them. They just, I packaged it back properly for once, which I don't usually do. So can't use that. Man, maybe I've used all the memories I have. Who's this guy? Oh, Sniper X. I have never, my recollection, and guys, correct me in the comments if I've used any of these parts. Let me know. And there's a chance I might mess up here, but I don't remember using these sticks at all. Do you guys remember these sticks in the build? I feel like I would remember these because they have a very like stylized, very loud aesthetic. Like, look at those heat sinks. Definitely a vibe with that digi camo or whatever. Sniper X, how much is this? Is 16 gigs? We got 2x8 gig sticks at 3600. Yo, that's not bad. So we've got this or the Domplats, 64 gigs versus 16. I mean, if we wanted to go balls to the wall, which we kind of already are with the 5950X, we would go with this. It's white though. Do we want to go with crazy over the top, like maxed out specs? Or do we want to go with something that's more matchy-matchy? Like this would obviously match the motherboard and stuff more because nothing on the board is white. These are pure white. So many decisions. I hate videos like this because I'm the most indecisive person in the world. So when I have to make choices and things aren't just laid out for me, it takes me a lot longer to make a video. But I think I'm gonna go with these. Let's just, cause you know what, I've had these a lot longer than the Domplats. Domplats maybe a couple months. This one's like a year, two, I don't know. So we'll go with that. Let's do the SSD next just because it's right next to the memory. We've got SSDs that are already unboxed there. Those are unboxed. I've pretty much used every single MP600 that Corsair's ever sent me. Corsair, if you're watching this, just bear in mind, none of the SSDs you sent me are ever in vain. We've also got, definitely use that. Definitely, oh, okay, this is a 2.5. Oh, I've used this for sure. It's open. Oh, Zadak. What is this? Who sent me this? I don't have a relationship with Zadak, whatever this brand is. How did I even get this? PCIe Gen 3 by 4 M.2, 2 terabyte. Dang, why haven't I used this? And when did I get this? And it is completely sealed. Completely sealed. Okay, so it's not Gen 4. Obviously, that would be ideal because our X570 platform supports it, but I'm not really gonna scoff at a brand new, unopened 2 terabyte NVMe drive. So we're gonna go with that. What's next? Oh, isn't this fun? You guys having a good time? Why don't I do GPU or PSU? Let's do GPU first, and that'll help us really determine how much wattage we need. So for GPUs, we've got NVIDIA over here, and obviously those are used. We've got 10 series cards that have all been used. It looks like we do have some, oh man, I've used a lot of the RTX stuff too. Wait. That's not even, this box is empty. Okay, AMD. AMD, what do we got here? AMD, and like, I don't know, do we really want to pair a super low-end GPU in this build, like with a 5950X? I don't know, that doesn't sound very fun to me. Excuse me. 5600 XTs, I have 2 of them, 2 identical Red Dragons from Power Color for some reason that I think are unopened. So obviously not tip-top or super fast right now compared to what else is out there in terms of GPU power, but these could work. These are unopened. I don't know, I feel bad, sorry Power Color. I don't know what, don't ever send me anything again. I'm just gonna let you down. So we could use one of those. We also have, that's a reference, I've used that, or that's AMD's, 5700. So this is faster. It's faster than 5600. Also Power Color. Power Color, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, no. This seal's broken. I'm not that sorry. All right, you're going back. Are we really gonna have to use a 5600 XT. I mean, I shouldn't be, like, I sound so privileged right now because I am. No one would scoff at that GPU, especially right now. Any GPU for that matter, for the most part. We've got a 6600 XT that is open from ASUS. And these are also Power Color Liquid Devils. I've used both of these. This is a Liquid Devil. This is not a Liquid Devil. 5700 XT, but I have used both of these. So that's a no-go. Jeez, man. I've used like every GPU except these two. Oh wait, is this, that's sealed. This has probably been used. What? No, hold on. This is not, I have to actually look at it. Dude, I've never opened this. ASUS TUF RX 6800 XT, OC edition. I've never opened this box. This is a brand new card, and it's a 6800 XT. Okay, I really wish it was Power Color, because, you know, I feel like I did them dirty, but I don't know, I just can't say no to 6800 XT. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's coming together, power supply time. Just look for the plastic wrapping. So this is a plastic wrapped Seasonic S12-3 80 plus bronze 650 watt. Is that gonna work? 650? We might be cutting a little close. Hold on. Let me think here. So the 6800 XT has a power draw, if I remember correctly, of about 300 watts. I think just with the card alone, roughly 300 watts. I don't know what the minimum power supply spec is. It's either 650 or 700, but I know it draws around 300 watts from the wall. 5950X, oh God, what is it, power draws? Like 150, 140? 650 might be good, because with that, that's 450. And then, you know, if you count for overshooting, obviously we don't get the full 650 watts all the time. Basically it's 80 plus bronze, not titanofreakium, adamantium, but I think this is gonna do. This is gonna do for now. And I think that's the only new power supply that or unopened power supply that I actually have that is of potentially enough wattage. So moving on. What am I missing now? What am I missing? Cooler. Let's do cooler since we're here. All right, so we do have, I haven't used this one, this Liquid Freezer 2 240 from Arctic, their new addressable RGB one. This is a really good cooler. This is a very good cooler, but I am planning to use it for an ad integration. I'm using it for an ad integration. They're also sending me a 360 version for Alder Lake testing. Alder Lake testing. So that's, I guess, a potential if there's nothing else. I've used most of these Corsair scratched, damaged radiator. We get it, Kyle, we get it. Used this recently. I think this was in the Revolt 3 system. And this is a Galahad. Yeah, I've used the Galahad. I have not used this. This is fairly new. Glacier 1 240 T30 from Fantex, but don't have any sort of like other project for it. No pre-rolls I have to film for it. So this could work. Hold on, before I actually commit to this, there's the Kraken Z X73, sorry. This would actually be a better option because it's a 360 mil radiator. I would assume that it performs a little bit better maybe than the T4, but who knows? I'm not gonna actually say that before I test it. However, this is for another build. I'm doing another build later this month. Stay tuned for that. So that'll get coverage. These are used. All the stuff over here is pretty much older and has been used. Oh, there's this guy. Oh, I felt so bad about this one. This freaking, what's their faces? What's their names? Oh, God. I'm not gonna open it until I remember their name.
I guess we'll never know.
Asetek, such cool guys, such a great team, and they sent me this for the Dan Case A4 build that I did many months, if not years ago, actually years, like maybe a year, it's been a year maybe since I did the Dan Case build. They sent me this, what was it, their 92 millimeter liquid AIO with a thicker rad, specifically for the Dan Case, or I mean it's not specifically for it, but it's one of the very few options that will actually fit inside of that tiny little thing, and I never got around to using it. I'm so sorry, I'm so sad, I'm so sorry, Asetek crew. I'm a bad YouTuber. I'm a bad friend. I'm a bad person. I would use it for this build, but could you imagine 5950X trying to cool that thing with this? I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. But hey, I guess it's getting featured now in this video, right? Haha. No, nice try, Kyle. You still suck, but yeah, maybe I can, I don't know, if I ever do, like, if there is another SFF case out there that can use a 92 millimeter liquid AIO, please let me know, or 92 millimeter radiator, whatever. Let me know in the comments, because then I can actually use this for that build, because it's still perfectly functional. They sent me two of them. I have no excuses. But for now, I think T40, T30. And you know, even though it's a 240 and not a 360.
Pause.
It does have those new swanky T30 fans on them, which I just tested recently if you guys want to check that video out, and they were really good. They were the top performing fans of the bunch. I think that's mainly because of the form factor. They're 30 millimeters thick as opposed to 25 like most standard fans. But this I think will do the job just fine. I also have additional T30 fans if we wanted to slap 2 more on the other side, put it in push-pull. Then again, I don't want to get too carried away because that's 60 millimeters of just fan width, fan thickness that we're talking about. Depending on the case that we choose, that may or may not work. I'm not going to get too close to the cases here because I don't want you guys to see my shipping label. But if I'm looking at here from afar, let's see. Those are all like mini ITX, smaller form factor. We've got, oh, what is this? That's a Masterbox Q500. Oh, I'm trying to like look at the cases, but also look at the screen. So that right there is a Cooler Master Masterbox Q500L. So if we really wanted the system to just overheat and die, that would be a great option. We also have, so that's the Fantex. This is the Fantex 719, which is the dual system, crazy, like built for custom loop cooling, or like water cooling and stuff, which I guess we could use for this build. It would look really kind of awkward with just that hardware in it though, because it's such a massive case. But we also have that guy. What is that? Hold on. This is also Fantex, and it is sealed. It is sealed. You see what that is? Enthu. Enthu what? Enthu Pro. Okay, so it's an Enthu Pro. We could use that. Why don't I just use, because does that have yeah, obviously it has mounting for 240 millimeter rads, and it probably has enough clearance for push-pull if you wanted to go that route. Huh. Oh, geez, I forgot how heavy this was. Oh my God. This is an extra tabletop for Megadesk. When I was building Megadesk, I bought one too many tabletops, and now it just sits here and burdens me. Okay. Okay. Good. Oh, the floor's so dirty, I don't want to put the fabric on the floor, whatever. Enthu. Wait, hold on. Oh, This says Dark Base 700 in white. Wow. Oh, it says it on the side of there too. I should have written it on this side. Why didn't I write it on the side that's facing me? Dummy. Okay, I've used that case. Are we really gonna use the Q500L? There's gotta be another one. Oh, give me a sec. I could use a 719. I'm gonna use a 719. Oh my God, it's so big. Do I wanna inconvenience myself a little? Or do I wanna inconvenience the build's thermals a little? I'm too kind to hardware, despite bricking motherboards 24/7. It says on the shipping label, 45 pounds. Just the case. Just the case. This is stupid. It's a stupid idea. But I think those are all the parts that we need to build a computer. So let's build it. Oh, and of course I'll put links to all this stuff in the description in case you guys want to check it out. I just pounded a Red Bull or 5. But yeah, product links in the description. That way the vendors who sent me all this stuff will be a little less mad at me. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go! All right. Starting with the motherboard, as always. Look at that. It is pristine. Not a fingerprint on it. Dang, I really took good care of it when I was shooting that pre-roll. I'm gonna try taking care of it now. All right, so CPU. You know what? Oh yeah, I always forget to check first if the CPU cooler that we're using uses those AMD mounting brackets. It doesn't look like it does, but I'm gonna take a look at the manual just in case, because I've been down this road before. Oh yeah. Okay, so we are using the stock AMD backplate, but we're not using these brackets, so we can remove them, just not the backplate. I think AIOs are my least favorite things. They have the worst packaging, the most annoying packaging to take out, especially to put back in the box. There's nothing worse than reboxing an AIO. Trust me on that. Standoffs. Are these considered standoffs? I guess you shouldn't call that standoffs, because then people might get confused with motherboard standoffs, but they're basically standoffs. God, freaking Red Bull. For your water block, okay? That looks very, very good. Very good. Pre-applied thermal paste is a bit of a smudge right there, but I don't think it's gonna be detrimental to temperatures or anything. So we're just gonna leave it, and this isn't like a personal build that I'm planning to keep intact anyway, so doesn't really matter much. We also have, let's just do the CPU install here. In you go. Quick question for you commenters. when I do build videos like this, do you like to watch me unbox the things? Do you want me to do you want to see me actually open them out of the packaging, or would you rather just me already have all the parts out of the box before I start filming? Because I've always wondered that. Is it does it add to the experience at all, watching me take stuff out of the box, or are you it's just kind of filler, you don't really need to do it, you know? So I don't know, let me know, what do you think? I don't really care either way. This is an Intel bracket, so go away. And I think we could just go right down to Chinatown. We can go right down to Chinatown, here we go. The one nice thing about pre-applied thermal paste that I don't think it gets enough credit for, if any credit, is that if you are installing your water block or something, I don't know if you just noticed, and you accidentally, let's say you lift it up for a second, you just oh, you lift it up just for a split second, right after you just applied a little bit of pressure, it doesn't really mess up the application. It doesn't mess it up enough to the point where you have to reapply it. It will, however, mess it up if you have regular thermal paste, and then you have to reapply it. Sometimes when you're mounting these things, you get an accidental lift on one side or the other of the water block, and it ruins your whole application if you're using just standard paste. Obviously, there's something to be said about the thermal performance of applying your own thermal paste. Studies have shown that buying the right formula, the right brand can improve temps a bit over a pre-applied method, but that is just one thing to point out that, again, I don't think it gets enough credit for. So there you go. All right. And then I think we have a cover. We have a water block cover that I've already managed to lose. Right, it literally, wow, it was there. Was it in frame? Because you guys could see it the whole time. It was right here. I don't know why I'm so dumb. There you go. There you go. You guys tell me. You guys are smarter than me. Why am I so dumb? Please, riddle me this. Does this? Oh, good job, Fantex. Looks magnetic, completely toolless. Thank you. I don't normally mind these little add-on cover plates or whatever for water blocks, as long as it's toolless. It doesn't add much time at all. Then memory. Sniper X. I have not really I just haven't seen many builds done with these sticks specifically. I think if the Digicamo wasn't this military green, there's not many builds that'll match this color, right? Everything's just sort of black or monochrome these days, so maybe that's why. These sticks were born too late, you know? It's like people who are who always say, man, I was born in the wrong era. I'm a 60s kid at heart. That's these sticks. Let's do M.2. Oh, these are like the star screws, not torque screws. Shoot, this must be like an engineering sample board. Good thing I have my iFixit kit. Hashtag not sponsored. I believe this guy might do it. No. One of my simple pleasures in life is picking the right driver on the first try. Just eyeballing the size and being that's the one, I got it. I know my shit. Torques. So I was close. I said torque. Torque is like what you use to install Threadripper, because it actually has a certain amount of pressure or force or tension, whatever the hell, to get it the right amount of tightness. It's like what they use for Threadripper and stuff, but these are Torques, T-O-R-X. Gotta use my razor for the razor build. Zadak. Has anyone ever used a Zadak product before? Is it gonna explode? Is it gonna explode on me? I think where I got this drive was probably from one of those PR agencies that works with multiple tech brands, you know? For example, Lee & Lee, when I work with Lee & Lee, I don't work with Lee & Lee directly, I work with a PR agency that they contract, and they also contract with a bunch of other clients and stuff. So once in a while, they'll be like, hey, we also have this random product from another brand if you want it, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, send it over. All right, so this is actually a pretty nice looking heatsink, I would say. Look at that beefy heatsink. I am kind of sad that I have to take it off. I mean, I don't have to take it off. Do I have to take it off? Let's just put that down, and yeah, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving that shit on because that shit looks fly. Zadak! Let's move on. I should mount the fans to the radiator. Oh, you know what? Let's get out the case first. I'm gonna have to clear this area. I'm gonna have to clear this table because we got a big boy on the way. Okay, so I've just opened up the box to reveal the actual branded packaging, and it says Fantex Enthu Lux 2. Now remember, I said this was the 719, but if you guys remember, or if you know, you know. But the Lux 2 was the original name of this case, but Fantex had to change it because Thermaltake gave them a cease and desist or something like that because it was too similar of a name to their mobile accessory brand, which was Luxa 2. So Fantex, being the chill dudes that they are, were like, yeah, it's not worth the legal battle. We'll just change it to 719. But that is why this does not say 719, in case you guys are wondering. All right, the case has landed. It's a big old boy. And we're gonna test out fitment of the radiator right now. Gosh, I really do wish we had a 360 now because of how cavernous the interior of this chassis is. 240 just looks like a 120 in this thing. Good God. Fortunately though, there is so much clearance in here that we can do push pull for days. We could do push push pull pull push pull. Let's do 18 fans on this bitch. Just kidding. But I'm gonna get more fans. Fan friggin' tastic. All right, should take the front panel off of the case. That would be good. There we go. Okay, that's a little scary. You know what? Just realized there were no screws on the back side of this top panel, which means possibly that I've used this case before. Have I used this case before? I think I might have used it. I think I might have used it for like a dual system streaming build, like years ago. And I just forgot. Yes, I did, because this is an NZXT fan. Son of a bitch! Why can't I do anything right? Ah! I just went through all that freaking work unboxing this thing, getting it out of here. Masterbox Q500L. Oh no. No. You know what? I can't. I'm gonna go through with this. I'm gonna follow through. I'm gonna follow through using this case. Maybe if you guys want, we can use the Cooler Master case for another build or something. Am I even in the shot? I can't, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna plow ahead because I'm so behind. I know, I always make excuses. I am so behind though. I have so much crap to do still after this. So I'm just gonna do this, and then maybe what we could do is a follow-up video to make it up to you guys, since I screwed up so royally and you all hate me now, is what I could do is maybe this could be a continued project where in the near future, we could add a second system to the bottom, kind of like, but better. It would be better and more modern stuff updated compared to the last time I used this build or used this case in the build. So let's just stick with that. Let's go that route. Carry on. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. All right, let's mount these guys on first. These will be our pull. These will be our pull fans, okay? The old pulleys. And you know what? With our new little idea here where we're gonna actually do a second system in here later down the line, I actually don't mind anymore that this is only a 240 millimeter radiator, because now we still have room for a radiator at the bottom here, whether it's a 120 or could we fit another 240? I don't know, hold on, let me see. How far back does this go? The furthest back this 240 will slide. Okay, no, another 240 would definitely not fit. I believe this can do 480 if it's single rad, but there's just too much additional length with two separate rads. So what we could do is we could mount another 120 here, a 120 rad here. That could be for the second system. Or in the future, if we ever got like a GPU that had an AIO attached to it, that with a 120 millimeter radiator, that could go here. That could work too. We got options. We'll figure it out later. But moving ahead. All right, the AIO is in, looking pretty good. Made me realize that I have not done a push-pull configuration in quite some time. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's been a while. But you know what? Because we have the space, we have so much space, and because we just have a 240 millimeter radiator for a 5950X, I felt like it was appropriate. And especially, I don't know, it's kind of cool seeing these beefy 30 millimeter fans stacked up, doubling down on those 30 mils, bruh. Mad fan thickness, boy, she's thick. Screwing down the motherboard now. You guys probably can't see much of, so I can change the angle for you. It's just a motherboard, whatever. Motherboard installs, boring. Let's skip ahead to the next part. All right, moving on. Let's do some front panel connectors. Wires are USB 3, USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type-C, whatever the hell they're calling it these days, 3.2 Gen 2, I don't care. And then we have some SATA back here that we'll save for the power supply, RGB, boo. I mean, I like RGB, don't get me wrong. I always sound like I hate RGB. I do. I hate RGB when I'm building a PC. I love it once it's turned on. Make sense? And this is HD audio. Nope, not plugging that in. Screw you. I hate HD audio all the time. Little guys coming in hot. Yoo-hoo. We got a full house this time. Power LED, hard drive LED, power button, and reset. The whole gang's here. It's an orgy. I mean, it's a party. So let's do Give me a sec to wire all this shit up. Okay, cable management, well, front panel connectors are done, so let's move on to installing the power supply. Okay, oh boy. This has to be the smallest PSU that's ever been put into this case. This case only supports one power supply, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I stand by what I said. Smallest power supply ever for this case. Oh, it's not even semi-modular. No wonder I never opened this thing. I'm just kidding. That's actually not that big of a deal. TBH. We got enough room, and really the only cables that we won't be using are, let's see, maybe a couple peripheral cables, Molex. Yeah, Molex. I should just snip those off. Those Molex cables, when will they cease to exist? They are but a burden upon this world. Okay, all right, yeah. So we'll work on getting some aftermarket PSU cables, maybe some extensions, once we do the follow-up video. But this will have to do for now. Geez, the case is so big. I like stuck it in here thinking, yeah, the 24 pins, you know, header on the motherboard is probably around here. No, it's like way up here, 10 stories high. And then we have our VGA. Wait. Don't tell me the 6800 XT has 3 8-pin connectors on it. I'm scared. I'm very scared. Do you hear me? I'm scared. And then I'm gonna die. Okay. Moment of truth. How many power pins does this thing have? 2. Oh, thank God. Thank God we're safe. We got this chair. I almost called you chat. We are not live streaming right now. We got this YouTuber watchers. What do we call you guys? Viewers? Okay. It's a beautiful card though. But that means we're good because I believe this power supply only has 2. Oh, no. I was worried for nothing. It has 4. It has 4 PCIe cables or power plugs. If PC cables were Pokemon and they could only say their names like Pokemon can, Molex would sound like that. Molex. Molex. What about the CPU cable? EPS! One thing that this power supply does not have, however, is 2 8-pin EPS cables. It only has 1. Whereas the motherboard that we're using, the X570 Razer Tai Chi, whatever, it has 2. You can technically plug in up to 2 8-pin power plugs. But I think even with the 5950X, because this is not a personal build again, I'm not gonna be overclocking this chip at all. A single 8-pin should be plenty. All right, turning it back around here. Pretty much done with cable management on the back side. And I probably should have mentioned this sooner, although it kind of goes without saying that when we do a follow-up video and we put in a second system at the bottom of this case, we are gonna, of course, have to swap out the power supply for 2 reasons. 1, it simply won't be able to power both systems, even if it's a low-powered system in here. And then 2, it can't physically support 2 systems. It only has 1 set of cables for a single system. So we would have to use one of Fantech's Revolt X PSUs, which is a dual system PSU. It's the same one that I tried to use inside of the Aqua build, the wall-mounted PC, even though it's only a single system, because obviously it can power a single system as well. But it wasn't working for some reason with that particular board. So I do still have that unit on hand, I believe. It's like a 1200 watt, if I'm not mistaken. So that is probably what I'm gonna have to put in here when we do part 2 to the 719 build, the long forgotten PC. All right, I think the last thing we have to do is plug in our GPU. And that rhymed, so it must be true. Where did all the expansion slots go? I'm missing like almost all the expansion slots. One's missing here, and I'm missing like 5 of them here. Whatever. And oddly enough, one of them that's where the GPU is supposed to go is still there. Like you would think that would be the one missing. So much plastic wrap, Asus. Guard. This is so bad for the environment, but so good for your GPU, so who cares? Just kidding, plastic kills. Everyone should use Paper straws. Whose idea was it to use paper straws? You couldn't have thought of anything better. Paper straw, that's like the worst idea. The worst idea. Hey, let's make a raincoat out of cardboard. I'm all for saving the environment and all, but I'm also for ideas that aren't stupid. Here we go. Ooh-wee. That felt good. That one felt good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just never ends. Never ends with this junk. Ah. This is by far the most empty looking build I've ever put together. You know what? Why don't I just use, instead of using the double pin, I'm gonna use one from each. Okay, here's one, and here's the other. I didn't say this was gonna be a pretty build. That was not the point of this system at all. Aesthetics were not taken into account. The only time I considered aesthetics was when choosing the RAM. I didn't want to use white. It just would have looked weird. Everything else though, we'll fix in part 2. So let's see, plans for build 2, since we're pretty much already done with this build at this point. Obviously we have to put a second system in here. I'm thinking either a streaming type of system, right? That would make sense for a dual PC. Or we could do like server and put some drives in here. But I already kind of have a server. It's not set up right now, but I don't know, it doesn't even matter. It's not like I'm gonna use this PC. It would just be for the lulz, for the funsies. But yeah, I think a streaming PC could work. And if you guys have any other ideas though, feel free to share. We also want to get some custom sleeve cables in here. Maybe I'll add some more fans. It's looking a little bare up here up top. Maybe we can add a couple fans at the bottom as well. I say we get another AIO for this, whatever CPU we're using. Slap the radiator to the front here. It would have to be a 120 to fit. I guess we could maybe fit. No, I don't think we could do a 240 at the bottom if a motherboard is here. I think it would just take up too much space. Yeah, probably. So we could do a 120 at the front or a 120 at the bottom. Maybe we do a 120 at the bottom and a regular case fan at the front. Maybe I'll swap out the RAM to something more black and gray because the Digicamo is just not doing it for me right now. I don't mind the pattern, it's just the color. The color is off, obviously. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, let's see if she boots. Alrighty, so here's our first test once we turn the power supply on to see if the LEDs turn on, and they do. That's good. Looks like we're getting power to the motherboard at least. We'll see. Well, I guess we're about to find out if everything else is getting power too. Here we go. Oh no, my camera battery's about to die. Do not die. Do not, camera battery, do not die. No signal. What do you mean no signal? Hold on. There's still time. It still has a chance. It still has a chance to boot. Everything else looks good, right? Fans are spinning. Things are looking good. It's not making any horrible noises. God, this is the most empty looking build I've ever done. But again, it's not finished, not done. It looks really good from like here up. Here up. Looks like a fully complete, nicely proportioned build. Boom! Damn! Wait. Did it? Is it gonna do it? Is it gonna... Yay! I still know how to build a computer. Yeah. All right, before my camera battery dies, I'm gonna install Windows and we'll do a quick little test just to see what the thermals are like with this AIO and the 5950X, and maybe we'll take a look at GPU temps as well. All righty, let's see how we're doing right now. So side panels on, all the side panels, all the panels, top panel, front panel, it's all on. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2 running at 2560 by 1440 max settings, and that's been going for the same amount of time as Cinebench R23, which is about 15 minutes right now-ish. Yes, oh, actually a bit closer to 16 or 17 minutes. So we're stress testing. How did I die? What the okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Can't even play games when I'm not playing them. All right, anyway, let's look at the max temp on our CPU. Oh, no, that's not good. It's 86.3. Oh, that's just very hot. That's very hot. It's throttling. That's the red, it means it's bad. So this is also, by the way, stock fan settings. I haven't tuned the fans at all, and they're still running very quietly, so I still have a lot of like, I guess, acoustic ceiling to hit before it gets obnoxious. These are very quiet fans, so I could just go back into the BIOS. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna go into the BIOS, tune the fans a little bit, maybe crank them up, and then we'll see what we get after another 10-15 minute run in Cinebench. Cinebench. As for our GPU, it's doing a lot better here at 67C is the hottest it's gotten. And that's actually pretty good. That's like a conservative estimate. It's probably gonna be running a lot cooler in a different scenario where we're not stress testing the CPU at the same time, because right now all that hot air or all the heat that's being transferred from the CPU into the radiator fin stack and being blown through the fans is hitting the GPU right now. It's pretty hot air. It's blowing hot air right at the GPU, and obviously it would still be blowing warm air if we were gaming, especially under if it was a game that was fairly CPU bound or put a good load on the CPU. But this is a stress test, and it's totally different than actually playing a practical game. So it's actually warming up the GPU quite a bit more than it would in a realistic scenario. So good on Asus for that tough cooler. It's actually doing a fine job. I wouldn't necessarily blame the AIO for the high temps on the CPU just yet, because we have not touched the fans whatsoever. But this is again why I would suggest, if you're gonna get a 5950X, might as well go with a 360mm radiator. Your temps will be significantly lower in most cases, and you're really only gonna be paying maybe $10, $20, $30 more for a 360 rad versus, or a 360 AIO versus a 240. If you're spending $700, $800 on a CPU, you might as well spend a few extra bucks on a better cooler. So this is what I was given. This is what I had to work with for today's the purpose of today's video. So all things considered, great GPU temps. Let's see if we can bring down those CPU temps by tuning the fans a bit. Here we go. Fantastic tuning. Let's try this. Press OK to operate fan tuning function. Okay, the fan tuning is not very fantastic right now. It doesn't seem to be taking effect. CPU fan 1 setting, let's try it from here. Full speed. Maybe I have to save and oh, there it goes. There it goes. Full speed on all the fans. It's actually not that loud, surprisingly. That's really not bad. Dang, these fans are quiet. Okay, I'm just gonna run it at full speed. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got Cinebench fired up again. It's been going for 15-20 minutes. Once again, this time around, we don't have Red Dead Redemption 2 running at the same time. It's just the stress test on the CPU. Fans are at full throttle, or full speed. And, oh, by the way, right before I hit record, the system, or the display shut off automatically. And when I went to turn it back on, Cinebench stopped. Well, I think the graphics stopped actually updating. You can see it's kind of frozen there, but it is still under load. If we look at the task manager here, oh wait, it's not under load. Okay, dang it. Oh my goodness. All right, well, after about 15 minutes, I swear to God, these are our max temps, 75C. We came down over 10 degrees by switching the fans to full speed, which is a massive improvement and definitely within the range of acceptable temperatures. So that gives me joy. It brings me, you spark joy, little PC. Actually, you're not very little at all. But yeah, amazing what a little fan tuning can do. Obviously, if I was using this for a daily build or whatever, I would tune the fans so it's not quite at full speed. I think we could probably get away with maybe, I don't know, 85% of that and still get acceptable temperatures well under 80 degrees. I don't know. I'd have to do more testing and stuff. Maybe we'll save that for part 2. But this has been a very fun and educational build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think again for part 2, what you'd like to see in that video. If you'd like me to use any specific parts, or what kind of build or system you'd like me to put at the bottom of the case, and any kind of testing you'd like to see as well. Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, toss a like on it before you go. Get subscribed for more tech content on the way, and I will see you guys in the next video. So after I got done shooting the video, I thought to myself, there's bound to be some skeptical people who thought it was a little sus that I didn't show Cinebench R23 actually running, and that it suspiciously just coincidentally stopped running when I showed the second batch of temperatures. So to prove my point, I reran the test. It's been going, Cinebench has been going for over 50 minutes now, 5-0. And I haven't really changed anything about the PC except it's on the floor now because I'm shooting another video over here, so it couldn't go on the desk. But don't put your PC on the floor. Don't put your PC on the floor, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. But max CPU temp on our 5950X after 50 minutes in Cinebench R23, 69C. Oh yeah. If that's not a perfect temperature, I don't know what is. So there you go. There you go. Hope you're all happy. Why is it a bit lower than it was earlier? I think maybe because the ambient in here has gone down a few degrees. What is it right now? It's 74 Fahrenheit, that is. So it's not even that chilly in here, but it probably did go down a couple degrees since the sun went down. Or maybe it's because I moved the PC. Maybe you should put your PC on the floor. It's staying pretty cool down there. No, don't do that. Still don't do that. Okay, bye.